Due to the coronavirus pandemic, all 100,000 Google employees are now working from home. This changes life a little bit. The coworker I work with the most is Chris. He's in London, so that means that from a time zone point of view, he is finishing his day just as I'm starting. So the first thing I do when I get in is I check the pull requests he's made overnight. And he's made 3 of them. So let's take a look. So this pull request from Chris is an example of what not to do. If you have a look here, you'll see that he's added 5,000 lines and deleted almost 70. 5,000 lines is a lot of stuff to review. So in this case it was necessary, but in general, when you do work, you should do it in smaller chunks so that it can be reviewed more easily. I think it's supposed to be at return, not at returns. Let me check the documentation for that. JSDoc. This is an example of an utterly trivial issue in a code review, the use of return versus returns. As it turns out, they both work the same way, but our code base has standardized on the word return. Having ruthless consistency across a code base allows one to search for problems much more easily. It also allows one to read the code faster. Here's another issue, the copyright statement. He started this file a couple of years ago, but since then Google is no longer an incorporated company, it's now an LLC, and also our URL has changed, so I need to tell him to update that. The best thing about being a software engineer is that no 2 days are the same. One day I might be fixing bugs, the next I might be dealing with a security incident, and another day I might be doing taxidermy. Yes, that was a real thing. This is the application that I'm working on. It's called Code City, and it's a comic book environment where you can browse around, looking at things, examining things, and so on. And the problem is, if something happens to the connection, now we're disconnected, but there's no indication that we're disconnected. So if I were to issue a command, nothing happens. So what we want it to do is to alert us that, hey, there's a problem. One of the secrets for handling a big code base is to have a big monitor. The more code one can see on screen, the less one has to keep track of. Now it should disconnect. There we go. So now we have a visual indication that there's something very badly wrong with your network, and we no longer hang the user. One of the responsibilities of every Google engineer is to conduct interviews for potential new hires. Every week I talk to a candidate, ask them questions about the sort of work they've done in the past, what they want to do, and try to assess their technical skills. About 2% of applicants end up getting a job at Google. With the day's work complete and my code sent off to Chris for code review, it's time to be a dad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So close!
So close to the finish.
So close. And once she's in bed, it's time for more software engineering. I've got a bunch of open source projects on GitHub that I maintain for fun.